Hey guys, Lancer here. Hope everyone's doing well. So I'm trying a different setup right now, so you can actually see me on the screen. Amazing. So what I wanted to do is, for today, I wanted to cover some Commander EDH cards and see what their prices are doing, especially the most expensive ones. Let's get to it. So the first card is Cyclonic Rift, and Cyclonic Rift has already been reprinted in Double Masters, so the price has actually come down a lot. Now, Double Masters itself is actually quite stable. It's been sitting around about the $20 mark. You can get it for 1970 on TCG. Obviously, if I go back to the Commander 2014, that was a point just before the reprinting where it was sitting at almost $40, and then it's dropped down and it's starting to move slowly back up. Now, Commander is one of those formats where Wizards of the Coast probably feels pretty comfortable to print these cards, provide premiums on these cards like alternate art and secret lairs. So, but the thing is, when they do that, they might try to keep the prices pretty high even then. Double Masters was a very expensive set. Every single card in there kept their price more than you would have expected, especially some of the ones that get played a lot, because it was expensive to open it, and they were the main prizes of opening the packs in the first place. So I actually think that Cyclonic Rift at $19 might not be too bad, because there's a chance that even if they reprint it in the future, it's going to be in a set which is gonna try to keep its price point. Similar to Double Masters, or maybe like a $60 secret lair that, between four cards will still keep this at a $20. They did a similar thing for the one that produces the fairy tokens. Yeah, the 1/1 token, you lose one life. The prices didn't come after the secret lair, and they stayed quite steady. So I actually think even if they do that kind of stuff with Cyclonic Rift, there's a chance that it might still stay stable. But we'll have to see what they release in the future. One of these cards I really want to talk about as well. The next one is Sylvan Library. Now, Sylvan Library had a Commander Collection green that came out, and that really did seem to bring the prices down. So, Eternal Masters, it was sitting around about $70, and then obviously announcement of Commander Green, Commander Collection Green came out, and then the price has been steadily declining. Now, it's sitting at $40 on TCG. The Commander Collection Green version of it is sitting at around about $30, and that's not bad. The art's kind of weird, but it's not too bad. It really does depend on when the next time this card comes out. I guess that is one of the fears with any reprintable cards, is that Wizards of the Coast might just get a bit desperate and decide to reprint it. But there's a chance that when they do, it'll be something similar to a collection or a secret lair or a Double Masters, where it's very expensive to begin with. I mean, Double Masters was obviously meant to be about modern, but they got plenty of Commander cards in there as well. So a card like this, which has actually dropped quite a bit and might drop a bit more, is something that I'd probably keep on the radar. There's a chance that when it hits a price of about maybe $40, it might stabilize on both sides, and there might be a medium price of about $35 that they both go to slowly. So it's a very popular card for green, but I feel like the future for it is around about $35 unless it gets reprinted again. It's unfortunate I had to even add that clause nowadays, but I think that's just something that's going to come up very often. Now, Teferis Protection. I actually got my copy from the secret lair. It looks like a Pringles. It's bending. I managed to put it in a wrapper and make sure that it doesn't, and I flattened it out with a book. It's still bending. It didn't stop it from bending. All of them are bent. Very, very annoying. I don't think that's going to lower the price of the card. It's saying that it's sitting around about $45 for the foil. I don't think that's 100% accurate. But it didn't affect the secondary market. In fact, it really hasn't done much. The secondary market is very volatile for this card, but it's sitting around about $35 on TCG, and I feel like the average for this card is it's going to keep coming back in an expensive version of itself, most likely, which means, or an alternative art, which means that this one might still hold its value more than you would think. And it just got a secret lair. Now, there's a card that I was taught when I made the video yesterday about the lands, the fetch lands. Modern Masters is something I'll cover again, but Bobby from the comment section said that there's at least straightforward rumors or facts that the enemy fetch lands might be coming back. I would hold off on those purchases if that's the case, because that means that Wizards is actively trying to bring the price of those cards down to around about the same price as the ones that got printed in Dragons of Tarkir, the allied fetch lands that are about 20 to 15 to $25. So I'd keep an eye on that. Moving on. Dockside Extortionist. This card was $30 for a long time. I bit my finger, bit my nails. I forgot what the saying is, and actually bought one because it's a very good card. I had a lot of reasons that I wanted to make. I mean, not even a pirate deck. It's just a good card. And it's spiked. It probably spiked more because of the dragon that comes in to add your extra value for your treasure tokens. But it's a good card, and I feel like this one is high on the list for Wizard to reprint. Because they've never reprinted it. They are going to want the value that this card brings and also reduce the price for people's entry. Now, I can only feel so bad if they print enough of it and it's rare and drops below $30, but this is something I'd watch out for because this is not something that's come out in a secret lair. They might make a pirate secret lair or something, you never know. But they haven't printed this in a secret lair, and they haven't printed it in any sets since. So this is high on the list for something I'd be very careful about, especially entering in this point. They're probably keeping an eye on it. I don't know what the time frame would be, but next, Vampiric Tutor. So Vampiric Tutor got a Eternal Master. So Eternal Masters was always there. I think, as far as I can tell, the cards. This one has dropped. I kind of wish that I sold mine. I got mine for like 50 as well, but I feel like this might drop even more. It dropped from 115 to 129, all the way down to 60. It's $40. It's $40 on TCG, and I feel like this card might be coming back. Will not be reprinted in the future, but Commander Legends was a very popular set, and there's a pretty high chance that it will keep its price point for now. And whether or not Wizards decide to reprint it, that's a separate matter. I think right now, $41 for this card is pretty decent. Depends on if you're playing competitive EDH. You wouldn't need this for most other decks. I have one, but like I said, it's mostly for decks that have like 4 or 5 tutors to make their deck more consistent. From my side, I probably wouldn't worry too much about getting a card like this, especially for $50, even though it has just been reprinted, and this is probably the lowest it's been in a while. It might actually go back up in the future. It's just you can't play this card pretty much anywhere else. It's legal in Commander and restricted in Vintage, so it's pretty much a Commander CEDH card. So it's up to you guys to decide on if you want to spend what would be a decent price for a card that I'm pretty sure the average person probably paid more than for. So we'll see how that goes. Next, Enlightened Tutor. So 1 mana Enlightened Tutor for white. Amazing card, $46 on TCG. It is in the list. This card is probably on Wizards' radar as something that the list is not going to bring the prices down enough by. It's become obviously very choppy since it's gotten into the list, but I feel like this is something that's probably going to be reprinted or maybe even brought back in as a normal card in a set somewhere, or in a different alternative version with a high rarity that might keep the price point, but it'll stabilize. I can't see any reasons why Wizards wouldn't go after gold mines like this, where no one would complain heavily, because Commander was never meant to be a competitive, Never meant to be an investment because they want more people to play it because it brings more people into the game and brings them into standard and modern and stuff that actually Wizards of the Coast can make money off. So Commander is a great entry point for a lot of people. So I think this one might be high on the reprint along with Dockside Extortionist. Next, make sure I'm still recording. Cool. Mystic Tutor. I think this is another one that I think will be high on the list for a reprint. It's $19 on TCG, but it has moved up a lot in the last couple of years. Yeah, it started off at 6 and 7, 12, and then it just got a massive bump, and now it's about 19. It might get a bump again. You never know, because obviously stimulus and all that. This is a very US-centric game. But once that happens, there's a chance that this might drop off again because there's going to be a prediction for a reprint in the future at some point. It's why it's so hard to, that's why I only ever get one of these. Keeps my decks a bit more inconsistent, which I actually prefer for EDH as well. Rustic Studies. So this one got Jumpstart, but Jumpstart was a complete failure. As far as I can tell, it didn't get enough product into anyone's hand, and then they just stopped printing it in enough quantity to fulfill the need for a card like this. There's a chance that they might make a Jumpstart too, bring back all the cards that they didn't manage to reduce the prices down by. But I feel like Rustic Studies, sitting now at $27, did not get any benefit from being printed in Jumpstart. So this might still be on the list. Sorry, not the list, but there's a chance it could go to that as well, but that doesn't help. There might be a reprint of this in a secret lair or something else coming up. So, because these are the ones that people want to play with. These are very, very popular, high-cost commanded cards that a lot of decks use. So, something like this, it'll be like printing, weird to say, it'll be like printing money. It'll be like printing money for Wizards of the Coast because no one can really truly come after them. Next, Demonic Tutor. Now, this is the one I want to talk about. This is really weird because, and I feel like this is going to revert straight away. It's the same mistake that I made for my enemy fetch lands, is got to keep an eye on what's happening because things change fast. Now, I'm going to cover Strixhaven very soon, but Demonic Tutor was actually picked as a alternative art mythic rare card that might come in as a very, very showcase rare mythic that you're going to have trouble finding, but that pretty much should at least stabilize this peak, which I'm pretty sure came up from that's almost like that's almost double the price that it was just on 2 months ago. So there might be some manipulation there, but it's $47 on TCG. And the fact that Strixhaven is spoiling a mythic version of this card with an alternative art may cause more pressure on this, but then again, a mythic version might balance that out more than I would think. We'll have to see. Anyways, I'm not too sure about this one, guys. I think this is one of those be careful and maybe just see if you can wait until Strixhaven comes out and see how much of a rarity they are. Because they could do the same thing as the Black Lotus for Commander that came out, where apparently it's actually harder to get that card than some of the newer ones. Some other mythic cards in there. So it's not like all mythics are created equally. There's actually a less amount of them out there, which is annoying because they never give us the formulas for these. They never say that they looked at the secondary market. They never pay attention to any of that, but they're obviously manipulating the prices and the rarity on their side. It'll be great to be an insider on them. You will be printing money. Maybe they have a clause saying they can't buy their products and sell it. But next, Smothering Tires, last card. This is absolutely insane. $8, $15, $24, $30. This card has not had a drop in a long time, and that's actually scary because and it's consolidated, which means it's gone sideways for a while after people think about the price being too much, and then people pick it up again when it becomes normal. But a card like this for $27 on TCG, when it used to be $12 in part of other packs, is very, very hard to pick up now. Now, that promo pack is probably $40 or $50 just because this one card is in there. What I'll say about a card like this, 100% chance that this will all also be on the list. So we have Dockside Extortionist, we have Enlightened Tutor, and Smothering Tithe are all very high on the hit list for the CD Commander printing that comes out next, because these three have not been printed much enough. There's not enough that there won't be much complaint when they do get reprinted because it's Commander. They can't be printed in standard, so they'll come out in some kind of Commander set, and that'll push down the prices on these. So if you don't have them already, this is three that I'd keep an eye on. The rest of them, it's up to you, but I feel like Wizards of the Coast is going to try to keep the prices of some of them at a level that they like. It's just when they start peaking that they start pushing the prices down. But it really does depend on what they decide to do for the future of Commander and the future of reprints in general. 2020 is the year of preprints. Rudy called that. But there's no surprise. There was so much money to be made. From now on, we'll have to see and provide Wizard of the Coast some, think that they have some idea on what's going on out there. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks again for watching, guys. Let me know if this setup is any better or if it's worse. Maybe you don't want to see my face. But I'll continue with this, and thanks again for looking into it. See ya.